Paisans! Woo-hoo! I have been waiting for this one. Can you smell it in the air? The leaves are starting to get crisp. You got to roll your sleeves down a little bit. I know it hurts. You got to cover up all that expensive ink on your arms. Us New Englanders do, at least. I miss you all. I miss you so much. Look at you. Oh, nice. You did your eyelashes. That's a cool T-shirt you got there. Oh, Jimmy, you got a new bicycle. Good job. All right. Well, listen, we got so much on the show tonight. I gotta watch my yapping because this is big time. All right. We are going pro, baby. We got Elena Thompson. Oh, my right-hand gal from the old pizza party days. She's back behind the ones and twos, making sure I don't mess this thing up. Hi, Elena. How you doing? All right. I have absolutely no idea what that means, but I hope that's okay. Is everybody out there in Spaghetti Land still? I hope so. All right, listen, you know what it is. It's October, the most wonderful time of the year, and I have some special guests. Woo! Sharpen your fangs, fiends. We got some of my favorite people, not only in the biz, but in the world. These are actual real friends, too, all right? All the way from the dark, foggy coasts of California. Witty Witty Goblin's going to be with us. We got one of the hardest working men in the biz, Justin Sirois. Oh, and John Hambone McGuire and Sally Canterino all the way down there in good old Jersey. Oh, how's that, Taylor Ham? We're going to hear about that in a little bit. These are some of the hardest people that I know in the biz. And I say this with the utmost sincerity. I respect the heck out of these people because, man, they hustle, and they give back, and they lift people up. There are kind of people pals out there. So I want to get to them. So let me get through the Crypt of Cool. All right, little show and tell. Oh, by the way, this is our vampire episode. Duh. That's why I got all these cool people on. Fresh in the mail. You can smell the boardwalk on this thing. It smells like hot dogs, Aquanet, and regrets because it's the Jersey Shore, baby. Look at this.
Yeah.
From Hambone And Sally, I cherish this. This is going up in one of them frames down in the Mozzarella Mausoleum. Look at this, pals. Castle Dracula. May it rest in peace. I know you probably saw the ads on Channel 9 or PIX if you're in the tri-state area as a kid. It burned down. Crazy story there. But Jesus, this is beautiful. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Now, Dracula is, well, you know, I'm a monster kid, all right? One of my earliest memories was Halloween, probably 3 or 4 years old. My father was the sickest Dracula in the world, okay? Now, mind you, he was the teacher by day and had a gravestone business at night, and he spent high school and college picking up dead bodies for a funeral home, draining them, filling them back up, and doing the makeup. So this guy didn't mess around. It was like the classic, like almost like the, you know, the PAAS, like PAS makeup kits from the 80s, like just black and white. No funny stuff, all right? Just the black and white with the sunken in cheeks and that. Oh, scared the hell out of me, and Dracula forever lives in my heart. Starting with 1980. This is one of the only toys that I still own from my original collection. And baby, Mom and Dad must have got it for me when I was 1 year old. I'm 79. Well, I was born in 79. I am not 79. Look at that skin. All right? That's moisturizer. One of my first toys ever that they picked up for me, the Remco Dracula. I love you, buddy. I've kept him in pristine condition. I had to rebuild the cape. This is from like a binder from Walmart. I did that with my Jawas too. But this is the thing that started it all right there, my Remco Dracula. And then I moved up a little bit. I got this guy for Christmas in the early 90s. That's an Imperial Dracula. And he still smells like gasoline. I remember when I first got him in Frankenstein, they smelled like gasoline for years. That's good old-fashioned Chinese plastic for you. That'll get you high. Ooh, the walls are melting. I love it. Now, here's something special. This is a WIP. That means work in pizza. Original. This ain't no reissue. What do I look like, a reissue guy to you? Nope. Sorry. I'm the real deal. Aurora Dracula. All right? Now, this guy was in rough shape. Some kid did an awesome job, but he was just too covered in blood, so I had to fix him a little bit. I'm working on him a little bit. You see, he's missing his hand. There's supposed to be a bat and some branches, but I think he's beautiful just the way you are, Dracula. Okay, there's him. And now, oh, this is neat. This is from our good friend Scott Cthulhu. Rest in peace, buddy. I love you. But we have something every episode from him here. We have, this is now, who is this guy? NECA. NECA repainted some of their figures and put it on that old Remco card. Now, this is a big deal because this is from the Lugosi estate. If you look at a lot of Dracula toys, you're not going to get the Lugosi likeness because they got some lawyers and they grabbed onto it with an iron hand and they protected his image. So that was neat. They got to use his image there. Hey, why not? Burger King, baby, 1997. You know how many cheeseburgers I had to eat to get this? None. I got it at a yard sale. And then here's another thing. One of the early seeds of this poison brain, all right? Miss Paskowich's class, 3rd grade at Harbor Elementary School in New London, Connecticut. Thursday, the best day of the week, because it was library with Miss Strymer. And I knew right where I would go every Thursday, looking for that very distinct tone of orange that only true monster kids know. Crestwood House Library Books. Dracula. Ooh, baby. I can't tell you how many times I went through this thing trying to figure out how I could turn myself into a Dracula, or vampire. So into a Dracula, into a vampire. I got bit by a Dracula. But man, nothing beats this. One day, when I finally make it, there's going to be a Joey Royale Crestwood House book. Okay? And you'll all get a copy. Last thing. Oh boy, I'm just peeing away time here. Sorry, pals. I'll have you on soon. But this is very special to me because I found this. See this guy over here? the Frankenstein mask. I found him in a warehouse at Jimmy's Junk. I swear to God, in my mother's eyes. In my town, there used to be a place, a junk shop called Jimmy's Junk. They had a warehouse across the street. Right before they closed, they opened up the warehouse, got a bunch of cool stuff in there, but deep way in the back, perfect story, way in the back amongst the dust and the asbestos and the rat crap, breathing all that in, feeling good. I find this box, right? And it's the Ben Cooper Frankenstein. I open up the box. I didn't tell the guy this, but guess what was inside? Boom, right in your face. All right, go tell your mother. Vampire blood. Look at that. Look at that kid. He's got all over his hands. But what I love about this, up on the top, it says, as if you had any question. You can't even see it. It's so small. This is genuine vampire blood. All right, not that other crap that they got at Aldi. Nope, in that middle aisle. This is genuine. 50 cents back then. You know how much fun we used to have with these? Mom, I fell off my bike. Oh my God! St. Anthony saved my son. I was a terrible kid. But what are you gonna do? All right, so that's my show and tell. I got a couple other things here. This is coming out soon. Boom! Right in your face. Nobody saw this before. It literally arrived on the doorstep yesterday. Beelzebub Hubbub. For those of you going way back in the pizza party, my son Elvis Royale, he's got a pal that we call Paul of Cthulhu. All right? His real name's Alex, but I thought that was pretty cool. Paul of Cthulhu, you know? But he was the recipient of the first WHPA/Get Haunted Industries Junior Zine Scholarship. So he wrote the zine, he did the cover art, I did the layout, and I got it printed for him. This is a banger at 24 pages. This kid's nuts. Wait till you get a handle on this. He's building the Etsy tonight as we speak. This is going to come out. Put a couple of change, a couple of quarters in the kid's pocket so he can get some big league chew. The kid hasn't had any chewing gum in months, folks. Hard times, brother. Speaking of hard times, my brother, the Neon Lord, can't be here tonight. He's got a sick kid. So love out to the Shutter family. What else I got? That's all I'm going to do for tonight. Hey, you ever read a good book? You want to read a good book? Don't be an idiot. Pow! Right in your face. Let's talk about vampire novels. Now, everybody knows Dracula is a beautiful book by Bram Stoker. All right? I love Carmilla, one of my favorite. Did they say it right? Carmilla? Yeah. Carmilla.
Camilla.
What?
Camilla.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Sally. Hey, Sally Canterino's here. She's upstairs having cutlets with Nana right now. They're all coming down. They're finishing up. Cutlets and cream soda tonight. I Am Legend, though, like it speaks for itself. All right, forget about Will Smith and all that. Those aren't vampires. It's like have zombies. This is scary. This actually scared me. This and Salem's Lot, two of my favorite books. They just both happen to be about vampires. So if you haven't already, your homework is, and there will be a test. I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. Beautiful book. What else I got? All right, I'll talk about that stuff later. Now, get your mind right. Hey, we're right on time. We're doing okay. All right, here we go. We're going to come down a little bit, finish up the cutlets. What we're going to do now is our wisdom check. Got to put hey, how's that? Literally for $1. All right? How's that? Hey, how you doing? Come here often? The Regal Beagle. Me and Mr. Roper hang down there together. Look at that. Look at a little gangster lean there. There you go. All right, ready? Now we're going to get into the stuff. Let's learn a little something about the creative process, shall we? All right, here's how it goes. I pick a couple of things that I think might inspire myself and everybody out in Spaghetti Land, and then I pull a tarot card, and boom, it always happens. They always match up, and they speak to each other, all right? So I've been burned out, all right? I'm burned out. It's October, and I'm already done with the school year. I'm exhausted, trying to find time to do my stuff, be creative. It's that balance. I got to pay the mortgage, but hey, I got to fight the vampires too. So let's see what our old friend, very old friend, but still a friend nonetheless, Marcus Aurelius has to say about work. Okay? I've read this. I probably read this during the first pizza party. But time, it's always good to go back. It's not a one and done when you're a student. All right? Listen. Shh. Stop it. I'm talking. Hold on. At day's first light in readiness, against disinclination to leave your bed, the thought that I am rising for the work of man. Must I grumble at setting out to do what I was born for, and for the sake of which I have been brought into the world? Is this the purpose of my creation? To lie here under the blankets and keep myself warm? Ah, but it is a great deal more pleasant. See, even the Romans used to take naps. Was it for pleasure then that you were born, and not for work, not for effort? Look at the plants, the sparrows, ants, spiders, bees, vampires, all busy at their own task, each doing his part or her part. They were, ignorant back then, towards a coherent world order. And will you refuse human nature's share of the work instead of being prompt to carry out nature's bidding? Listen, it's nice to stay in. It's nice to have a little cocoa and pull the heating blanket up and watch Kojak. I do it sometimes. But listen, you could get hit. I tell you all the time, you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Don't procrastinate out. Your job is to do work. That means taking care of yourself, taking care of your family. You got to pay the bills, baby. But at the same time, you got to create. What's the point of living if you can't make stuff? What are you going to do? Stare at the wall? Now, Elena, if you remember, you recommended this to me. This is intense. All right? You messed up my head again, Elena. All right? Yeah. And this time it wasn't the mushrooms. It was the War of Art. This book, listen, this is for black belt creatives because I don't like that word creatives. Everybody's a creative. This is for black belt creators because this guy says, Stephen Pressfield's his name, allegedly. He's just go, 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 go. This is intense. You got to take it easy a little bit, all right? But similarly, this is what he writes. I like this a lot. Grandiose fantasies are a symptom of resistance. That's what he calls like procrastination. They're the sign of an amateur. The professional has learned that success, like happiness, comes as a byproduct of work. The professional concentrates on the work and allows rewards to come or not come, whatever they like. You're not going to make $1 million doing this. If you do, congratulations. That's amazing. But we do this for the love of the game and for the gold that are the friendships we find along the way. I myself have been guilty checking the drive-through RPG, seeing if I got a couple of bucks in there so I can, grab something that I don't need or something like that. I have come to, I read a quote the other day, another quote, why can't he speak for himself? Another quote from that crazy son of a gun, Jonathan Winters. And man, he's a piece of work, that guy. But he wrote, and this really hit me. Jonathan Winters says, I couldn't wait for success, so I went ahead without it.
Damn.
Right? Get the chuckles from the peanut gallery? It makes sense.
I love
Do
that.
it because you love it. Do it because you can. Do it because you're not going to be able to one day. Try that on for size. Now, we go into the holy deck of the Garbage Pail Kids tarot cards. Right before the show, I pull a card like I always do. I put both hands on it. I close my eyes and I say, what do all my friends out in Spaghetti Land need to know? This was a reversal. That's not the end of the world. It was Luke Puke and the 2 of coins. See him puking all over the place upside down. It's getting all over the ceiling. He's juggling, and he's having a hard time juggling. So perhaps you're having a hard time juggling. Let's see what the Oracle says, shall we? Luke Puke, 2 of coins, reversed. This card shows that you're struggling to maintain a healthy work-life balance. Stress is overwhelming you so much that you may be feeling sick as Luke Puke. Be careful not to get so bogged down in work that you lose sight of your other priorities. I don't try to align these. This is the stars, as they say. This is the great hum making those synchronous connections, those bridges, if you will. Oh, jeez. Am I okay? Am I okay for Witty? She's next.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello there. So, That's that. Chew on that for a little bit. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're a good person. We love you the way you are. And now I hear them coming down the stairs, so that means it's time for English leather. Because it's not just about looking good, it's about smelling good. Thank you, estate sale gods, for finding this one for me. It was only half used. The deceased only got halfway through the bottle before he kicked the bucket. Whoa, that's brisk, and it stings because I shaved just before the show. That's how much I care about you all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a friggin' honor, all right? We are bringing on right now, all the way from the dark depths of California, one of my favorite creators, one of my favorite streamers, and just a great person in general. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to bring Witty Volkova, Wittle Goblin, on the show this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, live and in person. Witty pal, how are you?
Hello, I'm so good. I can smell the English leather cologne from here all the way into Los Angeles. It's so nice. It's so nice. How are you?
Not to freak you out, that's because I'm in your hallway. Hey! So.
I would be so lucky.
Wait, what was that beverage? Was that in a special koozie? Oh my!
Thank you for noticing.
Oh, I'm flattered. Look at these cheeks getting all red. Look at you making two little meatballs on my face. All right, look, we got to talk, pal. You have been killing it. You are actually you're my first streamer. You were the first person that I actually started to watch to figure out what streaming was.
Oh, no kidding.
No, I'm not kidding at all. This is not flattering. We talked before, but oh, this is really cool. So it's an honor to have you on here because you're a big inspiration to me. I had the pleasure of running into you in person at Under the Dice. You got your Hive Scum shirt on there.
Yeah, I got to represent. And
I got to tell you, there's all sorts of cool people in the gaming world, right? But sometimes when you meet them in person, it can be a little awkward. You know, they're not exactly the people that you think they are. But when I met you, you were just as cool. Plus, it was like the whole chicken parmesan with the cheese already added on top. You're amazing, and you make wonderful stuff. And I love how kind you are on your stream.
Gotta be. Yeah, it was. Likewise, absolutely an honor. It was so wild. So Under the Dice Fest, obviously everyone's in a good mood. We're all seeing our friends, we're connecting with like-minded people. And I look down at, I'm making my way down the tables, and I see Weird Heroes of Public Access, and it just clicks in my brain because I'd been very excited about the game, anticipating it, following it, from the first time I heard it. I was like, this is brilliant. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And then both of us just clocking each other and knowing who each other were at the same time was so wild. And it makes me think, I had this conversation recently, living in Los Angeles, like you do meet famous people, and it's cool because, you're looking at someone and you're like, oh, I've seen you on TV and now I'm seeing you in person. It's a weird thing for your brain. But I don't get starstruck. And I tell people, I don't get starstruck about meeting celebrities, but people whose art that I truly admire and love, when I meet them, I'm just like, I can't handle it. It's like, that's how I actually get starstruck. So when you were like, I know who you are, and I was like, I know who you are, we were both just like mutually starstruck.
It was incredible. I had no idea that you were 6'7".
Yeah, I know people don't expect it.
I looked up. Oh, hi, Witty. It was incredible.
They see Wittle Goblin and they just assume that I'm small.
Exactly. Yeah, I like how you trick everybody.
Yeah.
So let's get down to brass tacks, buddy. You are prolific. You are prolific, and it's quality stuff. So after Under the Dice Fest, I'm like, I got to get it. Like, I bought a whole bunch of minis, and I'm like, I got to get into this skirmish stuff, and which is perfect because I picked this up. Night Thirst. Everybody out in Spaghetti Land, this is Witty's game, and it is boss. You play vampires. Your job is to drain. The art in here is amazing. A knucklehead like me can figure out the rules. I actually said that out loud. I'm like, because some of these skirmish games that I've been checking out, I can't wrap my head around it. But I picked this up. Once again, I love a game where even if I if I'm not going to be playing it anytime soon, I can read it and enjoy it just as something to read and consume as a book. Tell me the story behind this. Give me the origin story, because this is not a little zine, folks. This is the real deal. Full color, beautiful. Wait, this is high class. Tell us about this for the uninitiated.
Well, I'm glad that you like reading it, because I'm actually working on the second edition right now, and there's a lot more to read. So I'm happy that you like reading it. Yeah, Night Thirst came about because I was actually writing a different game, which I feel like is how it goes a lot of time. You're working on something else, and then you have these ideas, and you put them aside for later. But I was writing a game actually about dating monsters, and I was writing these vampire characters, and I was like, what, like, when you say like, okay, I'm gonna meet a vampire, who are you gonna meet? And I kind of paused, and I was like, well, there's so many kinds of vampires because they've existed forever, and when you live forever, and like, there's just so many kinds. So I was like, well, what does it even look like? What does vampire society even look like if there's like, Lost Boys vampires, and there's ancient vampires, and there's like bestial vampires? And I was like, what do they have in common? Well, eating people. And I was like, okay, they have that in common. So what would that society even look like? Because I think about, the differences in our generations and stuff. And,
Sure.
people be like, shitting on millennials, and you know what I mean? There's like always like this sort of like combative sort of like, well, we know better, and that kind of thing. And I was like, what does that even look like when the generations don't die off and you just exist forever? So I got really in my head about that, thinking like, that's so wild. I want to explore that. And so that's like where the idea for Night Thirst started. I was like, what if all the vampires were together in one game, and they were putting aside their differences, and they were getting together and doing the one thing that they all do, eat people, and having like this like kind of like semi-friendly competition of trying to out hunt each other. And I was like, well, how would that even work in a more modern day society? Surely the government would know. Okay, so the government's involved, and that's where like a lot of the lore stuff comes from. Stake agents, yeah. And so yeah, that's really where Night Thirst came from. And I wanted it to be very accessible and stuff, because it's like my first like full game written. And I'm not an expert. Like, I don't come from like a wargaming background or anything. So I was like, I really want anybody to be able to pick up this game and be like, I can figure this out.
Tell us about we just gently touched upon it, but I love this idea in the lore of stake.
Mm-hmm.
It's an acronym, right?
Yes. Yep. And yeah, so stake agents are sort of this, it's not the government, but they work with the government. Some of them are vampires, some of them are not. And they sort of exist as this branching party, because the government's like, we don't want to be too involved, but we want to have our piece. So stake is a separate privately funded organization, and they're in charge of sort of, they have the guidelines of being like, here's a place where you cannot hunt, here's a place where you can, here's, keeping things in order. So there's vampire society, there's stake, and there's the government, and they all sort of come together to make these things happen. Because vampires were kind of like running amok, but there's like basically just like endless wars going on, and they were like, we cannot do this forever, we have to find a happy medium. Like, we will do this forever, we need to have like a polite society.
The council got together and they said, this is where we are going to party. This is my favorite vampire in the book. Right?
She looks familiar.
She does. And she has a mini to match, doesn't she?
She does have a mini. Yeah, I really encourage people to kit bash and stuff, but there was no way that I wasn't also gonna help design miniatures, because I love miniatures. Like, that's how I got into like the hobby in general, was painting miniatures. So I was like, we got to do a lot, and we got to do a lot of miniatures for sure.
Can we see the knuckles, Witty?
The knuckles, the kit bash.
Kit bash. I was there. I saw that happen.
True. You saw it happen in real life.
This person does not mess around, folks.
I'm about that life.
Your mind to it. You packed up and moved to LA, and you're doing this full time now.
I am. Yeah. Kit bashing is, honestly, it is for me, like, getting it on my knuckles is important because I work with my hands to do what I do. But I also, kit bashing is like a philosophy at this point. Like, I've kit bashed my life together. I look at things, and kit bashing teaches you to look at stuff and go, well, what if I just look at it for the shape? What if I just look at it for, like, this is what something is presented to me as how I'm supposed to view it. What if I tilted it sideways and took something else from it? made it something new. And yeah, kit bashed a life out in Los Angeles, kit bashed all of this. Yeah.
Yeah, I really respect that. And when I saw you, I don't know, there was some, I'm sure you felt it too. There was something very special about Under the Dice Fest.
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. And folks, if you ever get the chance, it's in upstate Connecticut. Handsome Steve and Gage and the Hive Scum crew, a bunch of really cool people put it together. It's at a beautiful VFW out in the woods. And man, we just lived it up. But when I saw you getting that on your knuckles, and I'm like, that says something. But I got it, because as like right before that, I think I was watching you guys play Sunrot. I was waiting in line to play Sunrot, which was a whole new experience for me.
Yeah, great.
And then I saw you getting that tattoo, and I eventually got a Sunrot tattoo. I'm like, this is beyond a scene. This is truly a way of life. Like the old hardcore
100%.
shows, the old punk shows and stuff. This is a community that is there to lift each other up and really embrace the let's make stuff. Grab any stuff you can find, smash it together with intention and with love, and do something with it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's about a year out now for the next one.
October, right? They're moving it till October. This time next year, actually, almost to the day. They're gonna have.
And I'm putting something in the case. Rusted Demon. I'm gonna enter. I'm gonna kit bash some stuff up. I'm gonna paint it up. I'm gonna have stuff in the case.
So, folks, the case she's speaking about is this like top shelf, no pun intended, of like miniature painting, kit bashing, all that. The stuff I saw blew my mind. And I spent literally, you got to see I'm pointing over here in the Mozzarella Mausoleum. I got a table over here. Hambone and Sally saw it the other day when they were over. Like, I went nuts with the minis this summer, right after that, Witty, and just started painting, getting the green stuff, making my own heads. So I got the Frostgrave bodies, but then I make, Hieronymus Bosch heads and stuff like that. You guys really inspired me.
I want to see. You gotta show me sometime.
I will. I certainly will. If I get up, I'm going to trip over a bunch of wires.
Yeah, not now.
Okay. So we're going to put everything afterwards, but you have a link tree, right? It's Wittle Goblin.
Yeah, if you just go to whittlegoblin.com, that's all my stuff.
And I got this from Black Site Studios. So tell me about what's up with the second edition now? I had no idea.
Yeah, it's the revamp. So there's not a lot changing.
I see what you did there.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, it's I'm working on. There's gonna be a solo rule set. There's 3 new vampire factions, which I'm really excited about. A lot more lore involved. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's coming together nicely.
Well, we'll have you back when that comes out. In the meantime, pick this up, folks. You can get it for just a couple of clams. It's on Black Site Studios. There's minis that go with it. Witty, can you hang out for a little bit? We're gonna talk some more vampires with some friends.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Hey, what's your cat? What do you got? Oh, your dog. Hi, dog.
Archie.
Hi, Archie. Look at that tail.
He's showing off now.
All right. Hey, Elena, can you tell Nana to tell Justin to come downstairs? Oh, she yelled at Nana that time. That's not nice. Oh, wow. Be careful. She'll get the broom. Justin! From Severed Books. Is about
Hello.
There he is. Hey.
Hey.
How you doing, pal?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm really well.
You see, we got Witty here.
Yes.
Hambone and Sally's going to be coming on. This is the spookiest ravioli we've ever cooked up, my buddy. Listen to me. Me and you, Brian Shutter. That was a beautiful weekend. I got to spend a whole weekend sitting next to this guy up in Granite State Comic-Con up there in Manchester, New Hampshire. This guy sits. I mean, I was nervous the whole time, just like when I met Witty. It's like, you're meeting people that you really respect.
Yeah.
This guy is one of the most prolific guys in the game. It's like the word of the show. And once again, it's all quality. Justin Sirois. I said it right. I always mess it up.
Sirois. There's a few
Sirois.
ways. There's a few ways to say it. My parents say Sirois, so I say
All
Sirois.
right, I'm gonna follow your parents.
Yeah.
They're good people.
Yeah.
What a beautiful child they made. Sirois. I thought it was Sirois. I was trying to be fancy for a while. Oh yeah,
Well,
Justin Sirois from Severed Book.
I tried doing that for 6 months when I was mad with my parents, and it didn't stick. So
I'll show you, Mom and Dad. I'm gonna be French, even more French.
yeah, I wanted to show this.
Beret.
I was digging under my big desk, and I pulled out my first introduction to I Am Legends.
Oh my goodness!
So
I have not seen this.
Joey, this dates back to New Hampshire, 1993, when I lived in Derry, New Hampshire, just a stone's throw away from Manchester, where we were.
Yeah.
I bought this at a comic shop, literally in the early 90s. And I never read the novel, but this is a really fucking like down. Can I swear? I'm sorry.
Hey, you already did. Who cares? Go for it, pal. Hey, like we always say here, when you're here, you're family.
This is really bleak. And I remember, this is the very first painting that I tried to replicate in acrylic on my wall.
I love it.
I
on
wanted
your wall?
Yes.
Yeah.
And my grandma was so mad.
I'm staring at that. Wasn't that a beautiful time? Now we're about the same age, I think, right? But like early 90s going to the comic shop. So you had the pick of the litter of all the long boxes before stuff got too expensive and you could find all the weird stuff.
Yeah.
But then they had stuff like that. Like I remember I got like a Clive Barker Tapping the Vein and Puppet Master comic, like all this, that that 90s stuff that when you're 13 can really get in there and start making you a little cuckoo. Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. This was probably a dollar bin box.
Yeah, sure.
I brought it home. I kind of like snuck it home and I read it cover to cover over and over and over. And I really like the illustrations are very different from this like painterly cover, but I remember staring at this and wanting to like paint just like this.
Those were the times, man. Those comics, black light, a little fresh fruit for rotting vegetable, or Frankenchrist. That's how you start off your teenage years the right way, pal.
Absolutely.
All right, so look. I picked up Oldest Child.
Yep.
When we were at the con.
Yep.
Speaking about books messing you up, man. I say this as a compliment. This stuck with me for about a week after I read through the whole thing, and I've been back into it, folks. This is not a regular game here. All right. Why don't you do the elevator pitch and then we'll go a little bit deeper, Justin?
Yeah, so like the hook is you play as yourself, you don't play as a character. So imagine that you're out with your friends one night, you get into a terrible car accident. You all should have been killed in this car accident, but something pulls you out of the wreckage and you're fine. And you're feeling yourself, you're like, "Oh my God, what the fuck happened?" And there's this little vampire standing next to you. And do you know how in real life bats were getting that fungus on their nose and passing away? Like in caves?
Yeah. They get it in the caves, and some of them are very endangered now. Yeah.
Absolutely. So in this story, in this lore, every century or so, vampires get the same affliction. So it's almost like vampire COVID in a way. So Lyda, this poor vampire, she sort of tricks you. She saves you from this car accident, but she needs help. So for 3 years in this game, this is the box, the card game version. For 3 years in this game, you have to imagine IRL that she is living with you, and you have to kind of deal with all the weird teenager BS that she throws at you. And it just gets increasingly sticky as you imagine that she's eating pets and then neighbors and then going out at night and finding murderers. And it gets really emotional.
And that's what struck the emotional aspect of this. So I remember, I think it was like last year, I went through, I did a little solo run of 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, and that the emotional aspect of it really stuck with me.
Yep.
This takes it to another level. because you and your friends are real. It's you, and the things that happen. Oh, first of all, speaking of lore, like there's really sweet history of this teenage vampire and the lives that she has led, the
Yeah.
people she has lost. Like we always forget about that, but like that's one of the tragic stains of vampirism is you get to see everybody that you love die.
Yeah.
You can't really love somebody back being undead.
Yeah. Her, I mean, it's sort of a classic story, but it's really sad because, like just like what you said, like she loses people, but then there's also like really small details. I'm gonna spoil a little bit for everybody, but like there's a card that you pull or a prompt in the book where, you know, you're dealing with her. You're living in a small town, and she brings you to a gas station, and you think that the hatch behind the gas station is going to lead to like this horrible scene, this like crypt, you know, like she leads you down like 3 stories into the spiral staircase, and it's a mausoleum to Pez, because she's collected every single Pez dispenser ever, and like every version of Pez, because it started as like gum or basically like a candy, and it's just like beautifully laid out, and she's very proud of it. She's like, you know, this is my little collection, and like the lead up to it is like, oh my god, like something awful is gonna happen, but she's just showing off her like her collectibles. So there's like weird details like that, but then there's also stuff where like if she needs to feed on a neighbor and you pull that card, you, Joey, have to decide which IRL neighbor dies, and then you go to your kitchen cupboard and you get an empty glass, and you have to bring that empty glass to the person's house in real life and put it in front of their door as a signifier that they're dead. They don't know what it means, but your group does.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Jesus Christ, man.
My
Like,
poor neighbor's got the Ring camera, and I'm running over there in my pajamas, putting a little jelly jar. Hey, Joey, what are you doing? Don't worry about it. It's a thing. It's for fireflies. I had this page open because, I collect Pez, and I have this Dumbo Pez without feet, mind you.
Okay.
One of my originals, and I opened up, like when I got the book, I'm flipping through it. I'm like, hey, that's my Dumbo. And I got the yellow stem and everything. So that really spoke to me, man. But I got both of these right around the same time, and it was perfect. Like, and my wife saw these on the coffee table upstairs, and she's like, oh, here we go. Joey's going to disappear for a month. It's vampire month. He's gone. We lost him. And I said, yeah, you're damn right. Then I drank the blood. But these do, I mean, here's a modern time skirmish game, modern time role playing kind of journaling kind of game. But there's an emotional overlap in both of these that I really think it's like the best peanut butter and clam sandwich you can have. It just goes together perfectly.
Thank you.
Sickest Witch, because we got Hambone and Sally coming on too.
Yeah, that'll be a good segue. So it's
give me a little. Hey, help me out a little bit here. Build that segue.
Whoa! So in Baltimore, Maryland, it is Sickest Witch Week. So the core book, and Witty, actually, I want to thank you because I sent you a package of stuff maybe half a year ago, and you featured maybe the Mork Borg version, which was the very first iteration of this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it has grown in.
That's great.
Thank you. It has grown into its own system. So all the backers are getting it this week, and Hambone and Sally, they got a new project, and I'm launching something tomorrow. It's all coming together. October, Sickest Witchy Week. It's
Exciting.
been super fun. So yeah.
Isn't it wonderful? Anytime Witty holds up a WHPA product, I get to take the kids out for ice cream. All of a sudden, we're getting a cookie.
Better keep that promise.
Witty's magic touch. Well, without further ado, they probably I've moved on to the cannolis. The cutlets are gone. I'll make you afterwards after the show. But could we please introduce the coolest couple in Kearney, John and Sally, two people that I consider family at this point, and I mean that. How are you guys doing? Are they on the screen yet there, Elena?
They are on the screen.
I'm smiling so much, my cheeks are pushing up the eyes and the mask so I can barely see in front of me. I got to get a mask with lenses. So if we got any optometrists out there, I'll pay big bucks, all right?
Yeah.
For a mask that works. It's getting tough.
Yeah,
All right, Sally, Johnny Baby.
Wow.
Hey,
How are my favorite couple in Kearney doing?
doing good, man. Doing real good.
Full of Bajul.
That's my gal.
Scott.
So we had a blast. They came over. We went to ShireCon, had a blast. They came over for dinner. It was beautiful. We had some Mexican food. They brought the kids Labubus. The kids went nuts. Thank you very much. And I think it goes without saying, but of course, because Sally and John brought them, they were possessed. So we got holes in the wall. There's a lady screaming up in my attic. My kids crying about Pazuzu. So thank you very much for all of that.
Joey, I told you they didn't fall off a truck, but I can't say where they came from.
I wish they did. That abandoned church down the street from your house. So listen, enough of me being a knucklehead. You guys, quills in hand, big feathers. Ready? I'll do it this way because it's big time. Under the shadow of the noonday witch. What's the subtitle? Please.
A treatise concerning the nature of the alliances of witches, being admonitions to lords, counts, barons, witch hunters, and all men of authority, touching the folly and peril of attempting to deceive or entrap a coven.
Concise and beautiful. It's going to look great on a bumper sticker. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, the Hambone Sally connection hits the Justin connection, and we have a beautiful thing. It's friends getting together, making awesome stuff, and then branching out from that. John and Sally, what did you cook up, you crazy kids?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's all Sally and my creative partner Gio. You've heard me talk about Gio on the show.
Well, get out of here. Let me talk to Sally then. Stop taking
That's what I'm saying. I'm going away.
No, go ahead.
I'm going down the stairs.
He's my booth babe. He's my hype man.
I'm the arm candy tonight.
He's the arm candy. He's my oracle.
But really, it's all Sally and Gio. I'm just riding a shotgun and just doing all the math stuff.
So tell us about it. What's the elevator pitch here?
So Justin reached out to us and was like, hey, it would be cool if you did a third-party project for Sickest Witch. And we said, yes, that would be very cool. Especially because I have a brain full of useless knowledge about witch trials and things. So it's about, this like Slavic duchy. There is a old noble who's struck dumb, and a witch hunt starts. Once his son is kind of manipulated into it, and the Purity Rose comes in to witch hunt, and you're playing as the witches. You're trying to, protect, your coven are essentially witches of the nighttime, and in the community there is the Noon Witch Coven, who are these witches that, if you try to work through the middle of the day when the sun is highest, they will strike you down with exhaustion and pains and fevers. And obviously that's terrible for production. That's terrible for capitalism. You want people to work it as many hours a day as you can, as long as the sun's up. So
yeah,
it's a plot to sort of entrap these Noon witches to, eliminate those hours of the day where you can't work, and you're there to defend and protect and assist these witches of the day.
Ooh, I like
by
that.
any means necessary.
So it's witches helping witches.
Witches helping witches against working through hours that you should have off.
against the man. I love this.
Man.
I love this. I love this. And I got to see some of the art from this. Sally,
Yeah.
chef's kiss. You
Having a great
nailed that style right there.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. I mean, it was a style that I was trying to figure out how to emulate for some of the illustrations in the Hotel Exorcist.
Yeah.
And you know, now like a year later, I've kind of finally figured out how to do that style, and it's pretty much approaching it exactly like doing a woodcut or lino cut, where I start with a black canvas and cut away. So
is that real? That's I was wondering about. That's really your process?
It's digital. It's a black digital canvas, but I'm basically just drawing with the eraser tool, cutting away at this sketch that I have under it. So, it still feels like I'm still thinking of it like how I would approach doing a print, which I haven't done since college.
Yeah. So for folks of you that don't know, Sally is an established, celebrated comic artist. She illustrates real comic books, folks.
Real comic books.
Oh, here he goes. Let's see. There he is, the hype man. So this is Orla. Tell us about Orla. This just came out, right?
Orla is written by Scottish comics writer John Lees, and it is about a romantic young woman trying to find her true love, but on dates when the guy that she's on the date with, makes her angry or embarrasses her, or, just does something real tasteless, she turns into the Ick, which is a big monster. So she's torn between, this instinct to turn into the Ick and become the monster and eat terrible guys, with finally falling in love and meeting a guy and being like, oh man, I hope he doesn't make me turn into a big monster. So I'm working on the last issue right now. Issue 3 is out next week. It's delightful. It's definitely not for children.
Okay.
There's gore. There's butts.
Gore and butts.
Butts.
Oh, take my money.
Yep.
That was my confirmation name, Joseph Gore and Butts Royale. There was a Saint Gore and Butts. How did you? I was wondering about this, Sally, because I saw the art. I saw the art on the Kickstarter page, and I know your comic stuff, and it's two completely different things. I know an artist has to be versatile and switch, but how the heck do you do that? I don't know. It's a dumb question, but it seems like magic to me. You got your comic style, and then you go to woodcut. How did you embrace that transition?
So before I did comics, when I was in college, I did printmaking. So I was doing lino cuts, I was doing woodcuts, so that that part of my brain still exists. That way of thinking of it still exists, and I really enjoy looking at art history, looking for all of this artwork from pamphlets and books.
Yeah.
About witches and witch hunts, Albrecht Dürer, Dance of Death, and every, a lot of artists doing that sort of Dance Macabre,
yes,
death motif, especially in German printmaking. Looking at that historical art and sort of taking that plus the narrative instincts that I've kind of developed doing comics, but it's every project kind of requires a different style. I did these ink wash, these gray ink wash faux daguerreotypes for Sunset Limited. I did these I was trying to my first version of trying to do the woodcuts for Hotel Exorcist,
They're great,
and I just enjoy trying to find new styles and taking the time to look at history and look at art that's come before. With the comics, with working on a monthly schedule, I'm boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Like I have no, we talked about burnout before. You don't have a whole lot of time to like fill the well. So intentionally making time to fill the well and really look at an art style and try to replicate it and try to replicate it in your style.
Yes, in your
And
style.
with the woodcuts, it's like letting go of some of the instincts for like perspective and anatomy that I have to like, be on point for with comics. I don't really have to be with doing these woodcut illustrations. So as it's challenging to turn that part of my brain off.
Yeah.
And simplify and think about, okay, how am I like carving this out? And I can't do every tiny detail.
Yeah.
It's not going to translate.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, so like looking at Sally's art for Sickest Witch, it is like as far as like vibe and tone and like history, it is so perfect for the system because it's grounding. I feel like it's like it immediately, and maybe you're alluding to this, like it looking at it, you absolutely know immediately like what to expect and where you are.
Yeah.
And it only takes a second. You're like, holy shit, like I'm in Salem, Mass. Like I know what's gonna happen.
I'm in Innsbruck, Germany. I'm in Scotland during the reign of James the First. Like,
Absolutely. And like I feel so humbled and honored that you guys took this on. Like the fact that you're the first third party Sickest Witch project is like perfect.
Yeah.
Like I get like butterflies. Like it's like
I would agree.
effing perfect.
Dude, we were
That
humbled
you
that
guys did
asked.
this.
Yeah, and I mean, like, not to undersell it. Like, George and I have been writing together for years, and George is probably the best writer I know, and Sally is a genius. I'm gonna say nice things about you. Like, you're not sitting right next to me. You already bought the cow. So, like her mind works in just this way that like it constantly captivates me. Like, we speak of Salem before. Our first vacation together, we were together maybe about a year. We lost like half the year not actually seeing each other because of the pandemic. We get about a year. We go on a trip. We go up to Salem in August. I crack a tooth. It's a really tough August. It's the hottest August ever. But we're having a great time. She's taking me to cemeteries. We're going all over the place. And at night, one night we go on like a ghost tour. And the person leading the tour is like saying all this stuff, and I kind of hear her kind of, I'm like, what? And then she looks over, and then she breaks everything down for me, like, well, this is what really happened. And this is what the actual history is.
This is the real stories of Burroughs and why they were coming out of the woodwork to call him, like the grandest wizard of hell, like,
Yeah, and it's that one moment that you like, they talk about in movies, like,
the
well,
king of hell. He was
just
the king
know.
of hell.
And when she told me about the king of hell,
Martha Carrier was the queen of hell.
I knew I had to buy a ring. So
absolutely.
So she is, between her and George coming together to write this, it's the perfect. Like, I'll have input too. I'll do all the technical stuff and all the attacking and all that stuff, blowing shit up, cutting off hands. But like, they're the ones that when they put their heads together on this and they told me what the story was, I was like, yeah, just hang out. You guys just take care of it. I'll be here when you need me, because it's truly, it's going to be a beautiful story. It's going to be a really thoughtful adventure. It's going to be violent and wicked as all hell. I mean, that's why we fell in love with Sickest Witch the first time we ever played it. At a convention, and I was like, this is the most sinister RPG I've ever played in my life. And
that's awesome. So we're approaching an hour, so I don't want to keep you all too long, but I got to ask you all a question. I'm going to start with Witty. So all of you have turned to this life, this world, this community full time. That's a bold step that I personally am not brave enough to take, and I am envious in a good way. I learned from all of you. How do you make sure that now that this is your job, let's call it what it is. It's a hobby, but it's also your income. How do you maintain that? Going back to our wisdom checks, how do you maintain that balance where you still find joy in work. So, Witty, you moved out to California. You built this thing. You kit bashed it. Justin, you jumped right into it. You're making stuff left and right. You're making connections. Hambone, you're popping out stuff all the time. And Sally, you are an artist by trade. So these are all things that we all love. But you've made it not only your hobby, but your way to pay the bills. So Woody, how do you balance that? How do you still find the joy in it?
Yeah, it's a combination of stubbornness. Like I'm incredibly stubborn and I was like, no, I am going to do this. And also just having, like, you could call it, I don't know, I would say like optimism, but not blind optimism. Like
Mhm.
positivity, but not toxic positivity. That I was like, I truly believe that there's like a space for the things that I want to do. And like, a huge part of like my platform is like uplifting projects where I'm
Yeah.
like, how is nobody talking about this? And just having faith that like, I was like, there is a space for this. And I just have to do it. Like, I feel like a lot of people, I don't want to speak for everybody here, but it's a compulsion. Like you're like,
Yes.
I cannot help but do what I do. And the balance part of it comes in to knowing when to step back a little bit, when it following sometimes like I'll be like, this is the thing that I'm working on right now, but something will come up and I'll be like, this as a treat for myself, knowing that it is still part of my job. I just need to put like the main thing on, like know when to put it on the back burner for a little bit and go, I know that that's still there and I will pick it up and I will do it, but just like following when that motivation strikes. Because I think if you lock yourself into the thing you're supposed to be doing and only doing that, whatever project it is, even if it is something that's exciting to you, you will burn out.
Yeah.
So it's knowing when to, and still consuming, like still playing games keeps me excited and motivated and inspired, and knowing that like things will come up and then I'll spend an afternoon writing on something where it's like maybe I will make a game of that, maybe I never will, maybe I will like a year from now. But it's following that when it does come up, because if you lock yourself into like, a huge benefit of doing something like this is the creative freedom, is the liberty of working for yourself. And it's knowing that like, you know having faith that like that the things that need to get done will get done, and having like a set, schedule of sorts, but knowing when to go, I can put this aside right now, I can follow what is exciting to me. Because if you don't follow what's exciting to you, then why are you doing this? So it's like it's that balance of, having the discipline, but also just giving yourself the free way to be like, the creativity and inspiration is the point and is such a huge part of it. And the important things that you need to do will not happen if you don't let yourself do that. So yeah, that's as much as we can, as much as we can strike that balance.
Well put, buddy. Thank you. Justin, what about you?
Yeah, for me, like going back to like punk rock and like kind of DIY culture, it's always about creative values. And I talk about this with like my community and my kids, like what makes me happy, getting up early every morning, like with a smile on my dumbass face, is I'm gonna make something weird today, and hopefully a handful of people are gonna like it. Um, but I think like I'm always fun forward, and it sounds really silly, but like with Game Face Con, with Severed Books, like my first question is like, is it fun?
Yeah.
Am I gonna have fun with it? Is my audience gonna have fun with it? And if the answer is no, then I don't do it. It's got to be fun first, and then of course metaphor, meaningfulness. I'm always thinking about like a greater layer of political stuff going on, like whatever, but it's got to be fun forward. Period. Like if you don't have that fun factor, and fuck playing Weird Heroes with you in the lobby of that hotel, because I've told multiple people about it for the past 2 weeks. Um, I learned. I think I relearned from you like how that is so important, because when you bring that spirit, when you bring that fun forward spirit, it's infectious, right? Like you are going to have a legion of people behind you because they had a good time, and they're going to bring their own experiences behind it. And you don't need to like force feed any sort of narrative or anything else. As long as it's fun and cool and weird and silly, like people are gonna follow. And that doesn't happen often anymore. It just doesn't. So like we need to be, in my opinion, we need to be the leaders of like fun and weird, because that's where the special shit is going to happen. People are just going to follow because there's no corporation, there's no one else doing that now. There's just not. Like we
Can
need
I
to
jump in on that?
absolute please. Yes.
That that resonates so deeply, especially I was just having a conversation the other day with like what we're looking at as far as like AI
Yes.
in like all art spaces, but including like our spaces, and just like what like the fun and the weird forward is so incredibly important. And I
Yes.
think looking at the state of the world and looking at AI, not to get like super serious about it, but it really does like it would have felt like a calling anyways, but it feels like so much of more like
Yeah.
of one now. Absolutely.
Yes. I thank you. Like uh who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
Right.
Who
Let me piggyback on that too.
Yeah, please.
First off, I mean, Sally's the brave one here. I'm fixing to go to try to sell some houses. I just have to write and write and write, or my brain will shake out of its skull. But I actually had to talk about this the other day with a buddy of mine who's in a band. When we were younger, like punk rock saved my life. Full stop. Playing in bands, learning to hustle, learning to grind. It was in my bones. And I didn't know until I got to the dance that I picked up a guitar for the first time. But I think with AI, we talked about when you're young, you're hungry, you're desperate, you're going to push it to the limit as hard and as far as you can to actually just to do whatever you have to do to get that art out into the world, because it truly is, like what he said, a compulsion.
Bullshit.
Now more than ever with all this AI bullshit, that I think if maybe I'm speaking erroneously for too many people, but I know for a lot of artists, a lot of creators, it's bringing that hunger back, it's bringing that desperation back, it's bringing that real punk rock energy back that got us here in the first place. Because now it's like no one's coming for us, no one's coming to save us with this bullshit. It's literally us against the machines. T2 time, baby. Like this is what we were trained for. But like that's for me. I love that like when I did Days of Future Fairhaven, me and Levi, I got to write some real weird shit, man. I got to write some really wacky out there stuff that like I was happy to know that when people had it in their hands and were playing WHPA and they're playing through Days of Future Fairhaven, they got it and they understood where it was coming from. And it's coming from right here. It's
Yeah.
coming from the atomic
Mhm.
battery.
Yep. And I think in the end it's all about community, like
Yep.
if
100%.
if all the funny stuff that we're making and making a living off of, like if we're creating a community that didn't exist a year ago or 6 months ago or a week ago, like that is magic, man. That's like that's the real magic. That's it.
Mhm.
My our Discord community, and the friends I have made through gaming and writing games, I'm a friggin' millionaire. Like it's I John and I talk Hambone and I talk about this all the time. I can't believe that I'm 45 years old and for the first time in my life, like I have some of the greatest friends, family that I've ever had in my entire life. A lot of us lament the wonder years, and no disrespect to my friends and all that, but like you don't expect to meet your best friends of your life halfway through your life, if I'm lucky, and and it's about because we got together about having fun. It's the oldest friggin' thing in the world, sitting around and telling a story. And
Yeah.
sometimes I forget. Listen to you guys right now is making me misty eyed. Like Jesus, like taking gaming so seriously sometimes. Like furrowed brow. Like oh yes, the release schedule and this and that. And like totally forgetting it. I'm writing a friggin' adventure about public access hosts finding a fish man in the senior citizens pool.
It's a big deal. All right, not to get too philosophical. We're going over our time, but like I don't think all right. none of us want to retire because we're kind of living our best life.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we can do this until we're 90 years old, and heck, like maybe the community expands globally, you can go. All of us could go to Madrid, and there's like a handful of people, and they're like, "I know your work. You can stay on my couch. You can run Weird Heroes, blah 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 for a night. That that's success to me.
Absolutely.
I don't want anything else.
To jump in, like when I started making mini comics and zines and stuff when I was a teenager, and part of the reason why I got drawn into comics is because when I went to, I did pre-college classes in high school at School of Visual Arts, and like you roll up there, and I think I had signed up originally for like fine arts because I was like, oh, I have to build my portfolio and this, that, and the other thing, and then like I spent like one afternoon hanging out with like like everybody who was going to be in like the comics program, the cartooning program, and I was like, I like these people a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, these people are fun. These people are silly. Like we're already like making weird shit together and like acting out plays with like people's fucking stuffies on that they brought to their dorm. Like we're already getting weird. We're already like being weird. So that was my sort of intro into the comics community, was through like mini comics and zines, and we're gonna stay up all night and copy stuff at Kinko's,
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, fully. There's
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence that so like for so many of us, a lot of what we do now is like a return to like our awkward teenage self,
Yeah.
like the obsessions that we had, the things that we were so excited about.
Yeah.
Like the point of existing is to enjoy it. And like I think a huge part of it is looking at like your teenage self and being like, hey, you couldn't do it now, but you can do it. Like you couldn't do it then, but
Yes.
you can do it now, and you can do it so much better. Like
I've
you can do it
avenged
so
you.
much
Yeah.
I've
And
avenged you.
also-
It's so true. Like I feel like I look at like awkward like child and like teenage witty, and I'm like, we got this. Like we're
Yeah.
doing it.
I mean, and
And
that's
I think also
That's a great point.
being
That's a
true
great
to
point.
like your teenage aspirations. Like I consider myself successful in comics because I didn't go into it being like, I'm gonna draw Batman one day. Like I have no aspirations of
yeah.
drawing a character that already exists. Like, and no shade to anyone who does that, because that is part of why I don't want to do it, is because it's such a huge responsibility. And you
Yeah,
have
sure,
to be
sure.
so cognizant of so much. And I want to just be able to like be like, I'm gonna do my own thing, I don't want to have to think about like, is someone gonna get mad because I drew the ears on the cowl like slightly too big? Like, first of all, you can never make the ears on Batman tall enough. Never.
I agree.
That's my opinion. The best Batman design has the biggest ears.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Should have a convertible because they're so big.
But yeah, like being able to say like, no, my aspiration is to be able to tell stories, and tell stories that I wouldn't be able to tell with just writing or just art.
Mhm.
Telling stories collaboratively,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
part of the joy of like working on games as well. Is like, oh, I'm using this like writing muscle of my brain that I don't always get to use when I'm drawing for a script that's already been written.
Yeah.
So
You guys are awesome. So I was gonna end. This is perfect. I mean, Witty, you just nailed it. I was gonna say, and I've done this before on the show. Like we're gonna go around in a minute as we conclude, and I'd like you, if you want. I'm not gonna pressure anybody. You can pass. But what's one thing you would tell your 12-year-old self right now? Your 12-year-old self is standing in the doorway, waving at you, all freaked out at the world. What would you tell, knowing what you know now, your 12-year-old self? And as you think about that, folks that's in Spaghetti Land, this is important stuff from people that I really care about. You are never, ever alone. No matter how weird you think you are or what people may say, I do this show because I want you guys to know that I have imposter syndrome, that we all do, that we all get lonely and depressed, and sometimes You don't like or Marcus Aurelius said, Roman Emperor, you don't want to get out of bed. It's easier to lay in bed. But man, people need to know what you are thinking, because no matter what you do, if you make something, it's going to resonate hopefully with yourself. That's the most important thing. But I guarantee you, if you put enough love into that, and it's gonna radiate out, and it will help somebody else. Everybody I have on this show tonight there are 4 examples, 5 examples, including Elena, who give their time, their sincerity, and their kindness to lift up other people. You find each other. I didn't know these people a couple years ago, but you got to put yourself out there a little bit, and when you do, I promise you, the gifts, the riches that you will find surpass any other experience you have ever had. So, in conclusion, we go around and we say to our 12-year-old self standing in the doorway, I can't believe he's wearing those jeans. John.
I would say to my 12-year-old self, when I heard "Don't dream it, be it," that he was right. Stay the course.
Thank you. Sally?
So it's funny because this is actually a thing I've been thinking about a lot in the last like month or two. Because recently, like, went to see a band that I saw a lot as a teenager, really loved as a teenager. Went to this show in 2025, and a good chunk of the crowd was teenagers who were like, the age that I was when I was first seeing this band, and like seeing them with handing out zines to each other and stickers and pins and dressing up and making cosplay costumes, whatever. I was like, I would fucking die for these kids. Like, like it's like these kids are so brave. It's so cool. Like, I would, I was not even doing like a tenth of that that kind of creativity and like looking for community when I was a teenager. And so I think that like what I would say to my teenage self is like, first of all, hang in there. Second of all, like, be nicer to yourself, be kind to yourself. Like, you're gonna find your people, you're gonna find where you fit in and where you can kind of use all of your weird things that live in your brain to, make comics about big monsters and write games about like witches or wrestlers or whatever's, your like special interest this month.
Awesome. Witty?
I would tell Tiny Witty that this is all going to make sense, that this is all going to pass, and that by being brave and holding on to the weird things that make your life so uncomfortable now, those things will set adult Witty free and will help you build such a beautiful, weird life that you cannot possibly imagine right now. But trust me, it's going to happen. That's what I would tell Tiny Witty.
I bet Tiny Witty would love to hear that. Justin, my friend.
Man, there's so many like yes ands with this hour and a half that we've done. Like, y'all are fucking beautiful. I would say to my 12-year-old self, don't be afraid to find a mentor. I feel like increasingly so, it's like our system is sort of breaking down, and like we all need to find our personal heroes, and don't be afraid to email that person that might be like 5 years ahead of you, 10 years ahead of you, 2 decades ahead of you. Because from my experience, I've done that before, and 1 out of 10 emails that person has gotten back to me, and it's changed my life. Like, that person has been like, yeah, I'll give you a blurb for your book, I will help you out for a minute. And it, like, that little bit of generosity, like, it's out there, and you never know, like, that 60-year-old person who's been in the game for a long time, like, they might have a little bit of time to help you out, and it's going to change your life. So don't be afraid to like ask for a little bit of help. And if you have a hero, like, just try to message them, like, 100%, because they're looking for someone to to pump up. Like we're all doing this together. I love when someone younger like reaches out and they're like, "Hey, like I need consulting on a Kickstarter." I'll give them 10 minutes and be like, "Bang, bang, bang. Hit this, hit this, hit this." And it feels great for everybody, for them, for me, for the
Everybody.
community. 100%.
That great hum. I'll end with mine, which is I sign everything not to be funny. It's not branding. It's a deep philosophical subscription for me, and it's just stay weird. Like that's who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
There's so many other people that are just be you, and that being you is weird, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, on that note, boy, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for
love
your
you too,
time,
Val.
Thank
what you guys
you.
do for the community at large, and to everybody out in Spaghetti Land. We're gonna get through this. We got each other's backs. And when's the last time you saw the bad guy win? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. All right?
Love you, man.
All right.
Love you,
Love
Dan.
you too.
Love you
Yeah.
guys.
So that is holy cow. We went on an adventure tonight, pals. A lot of thinking to do, but we're gonna be okay. Get out there, make something, you knuckleheads. I'm gonna be watching. All right? I'm always here for you. So are these people. Be cool. Stay weird. Elena, thank you very much for being back on board. I look forward to many pizza parties ahead down the road. All of these wonderful creators' information will be in the show notes later on. Until next month, friends. Joey loves you, baby. Good night, everybody.